The 18th Asian Games was held in Indonesia from August 18th to September 2nd. For many Koreans, the culmination of Asia's biggest sporting event was the men's soccer finals, where Team Korea beat its biggest rival, Japan, to win the gold. The TV ratings were over 60%, meaning 6 out of 10 households in Korea were watching the game live. The games have also triggered a controversy over Korea's decades-old policy about exemption from mandatory military service. Under Korean law, a winner of a gold medal in the Asian Games or any medal of any kind in the Olympic Games becomes exempt from mandatory military service. The winners complete their military service by only attending 4 weeks of basic military training. Thanks to the policy, the English Premier League footballer Son Heung-min is now able to avoid a 2-year hiatus in his career. But not all the beneficiaries of the policy are welcomed by Korean citizens. Some baseball players are under criticism for taking advantage of the measure to avoid military service. While other baseball teams in the games were composed of amateur players, Team Korea had all professional players, almost guaranteeing them to win the gold. Opponents of this policy ask a question. Fulfilling military service should be applied equally to every able-bodied man, but why do professional players, who already have both honor and money, enjoy the additional benefit of military service exemption? Proponents point out that unlike ordinary citizens, the careers of professional athletes peak in their 20s, which overlaps with their military service. Why don't we allow talented athletes to improve themselves without hiatus and serve the country by raising Korea's reputation on a global stage? Keenly aware of the controversies, the government has announced that they will review the system from scratch and fix the problems. The system implemented in 1973 is now up for an overhaul. The soccer team returned triumphantly and were greeted with open arms by Korea. However, the baseball team shied away from the spotlight because some of the players on the team are accused of dodging the draft. So we've got 3 things here. So the soccer team returned triumphantly and were greeted with open arms. To be greeted with open arms, imagine if you were opening your arms to hug somebody. When someone is welcome somewhere or they come back from somewhere, if they say they are greeted with open arms, that means they are welcomed by the people who they left. And then I said the baseball team shied away from the spotlight. So to shy away, think of being shy, a little bit resistant to doing something. So if you shy away from something, you avoid something. You try not to be noticed if you're shying away from something. It means you're a little bit intimidated or afraid of doing something. So they shied away from the spotlight. The spotlight we use means kind of attention, usually public attention by the media. So many singers, K-pop idols, they are in the spotlight. The spotlight refers to a light that's in a theater that's always shining on you. But the spotlight means to be kind of in the public eye or public image. And finally, I said some of the players on the team are accused of dodging the draft. So dodging the draft was an expression mostly used in the United States. The draft means mandatory military conscription. You have to go. To dodge means to move out of the way. So dodge the draft were people who left America for Canada, who wrote fake doctor notes, or who just never showed up. We call that dodging the draft, avoiding mandatory military service. Some of Team Korea's baseball players found a loophole to avoid conscription by riding on the coattails of the better baseball players on the team. So again, we've got about 3 things here. So to find a loophole is kind of a flaw in a law or regulation that allows you to bypass or get around a certain law. You know, for example, if you have a small business and you want to buy a car, you can buy an expensive European car and write that off on your taxes as a business expense. That's kind of a loophole in the law. Even though you're not using it for work entirely, but you say you are, that's a little bit of a loophole. And I said that the loophole to avoid conscription. So mandatory military service, we also say conscription. So a military that uses conscription, it's the same as the draft or mandatory military service. And finally, some of the players were riding on the coattails of the better baseball players. So to ride on someone's coattails, imagine someone with a very long coat and someone is standing on the back of it, like kind of a trench coat. And it means when someone is achieving something and doing something and making progress, but the people around them, following them, they are benefiting from that achievement. So if one person is doing all the work, the other people are kind of benefiting from that. That is riding on someone's coattails. I would recommend Googling riding on coattails, the idiom. The Google images have a kind of a great section where you can see exactly what it means. There should be no debate. All men must serve in the military. All men must serve in the military. It is not fair that some get to avoid military service while most serve. Sports stars have a very comfortable life with status and financial rewards. Why are they the ones who don't have to serve in the military? So I said sports stars. So when we talk about athletes, many Koreans say sports players. So we talk about people who play sports. We call them athletes. There's amateur, who do not get paid, and professional athletes. And then sports stars is an expression we use for the most professional, like kind of the top players. But sports stars are another way of saying professional athletes. Professional athletes are living the high life. What does athletic achievement have to do with Korea's national duty? So I said professional athletes are living the high life. To live the high life means to live a very comfortable life with a lot of money. So you can eat whatever you want. You've got a big house, a nice car. You can travel whenever you want, usually first class. High life means you're living a very rich lifestyle and you're spending a lot of money and you're comfortable that way. It is common knowledge that athletes are in their prime in their 20s. Why should their athletic career suffer? There must be an alternative way they can serve their country. So just one thing in this sentence, it is common knowledge. Common knowledge is something that is very obvious. For example, in the Northern Hemisphere, it's summer, but in the Southern Hemisphere, it's winter. Everybody knows that. It's common knowledge. So people who are in their 20s, they are the most, in shape or the prime of their athletic career. So that is common knowledge. Athletes are usually at the height of their careers in their 20s. It would be detrimental to take 2 years off during this time. There needs to be a way for these athletes to postpone their military service until they can finish their career in sports. So I said athletes are usually at the height of their career. If you're at the height of your career, you're doing the best, you're making the most money. It's kind of like we said, the prime time or the peak of your career. But if they took 2 years off, that would be detrimental. If something is detrimental, it's going to affect you negatively. It's kind of very bad. So, smoking is detrimental to your health. If you smoke, you're going to get sick. So we say it's detrimental. It's very bad for your health, or just very bad in general. And then for these athletes to postpone their military service. To postpone something is to put off or to delay. So what we're saying here is that they should have a sports career, an athletic career, but after that career, they should start their military service. So postpone it till after their athletic achievements. Rather than granting exceptions for winning a medal, there should be a point system put in place. The point system would be applied to more than just one event. Athletes who participate in these events can earn points, and once the players earn enough points, he does not have to go into the military. A point system should be established rather than the old system. If players show athletic achievement in an array of different competitions, then they should be given a pass and are not required to serve in the military. So two things here. I said, if players show an athletic achievement in an array of different competitions, an array is kind of it's a mathematical term, but we use it if you have a lot of different choices or a lot of different options or a wide range of things. So an array of competitions would be kind of a regional competition, Asian Games, World Games, Olympics. That's many different things. That is an array. Then they should be given a pass and are not required to serve in the military. To be given a pass is to be given an exemption or to be allowed not to do something. You can even use it if a police officer pulls you over for speeding and you say, I'm on my way to the hospital, I'm very sick. He may give you a pass, means he may not give you a ticket. So to give someone a pass is to kind of be easy or lenient on them and let them not do something or be punished. Thanks, guys. Thanks for downloading. Bye-bye.